Hello, podcast friend. We're going to start the program in just a couple of minutes. Actually, the countdown clock is 1 minute 50 seconds according to the live video stream at Facebook. But I want to give you just a little bit of a thank you. You know, you listening to the podcast is so important, and it really means a lot to me. And if you tell people about it and share it, and also if you'd give kind of a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you're getting the podcast, you have no idea how important it is. The left is really kind of winning the battle of the podcast right now. Doesn't mean that we can't catch up. And just you listening and telling people about it makes a big, big difference. So thank you very much. And let's get started with this show about a minute early because I just want to. Here we go. Are we on? We're broadcasting live. Let's start off with a little jingle, shall we?
They ought to put his face on a dollar bill. Takes all the fun out of being a liberal. He's spreading the truth from coast to coast, and he's much better looking than your average host. Rusty Humphries, Rebellion.
Okay, we are about to start the program. We're just kind of waiting for Facebook to catch up with us, and as they do, we sure want to welcome you to the program. And if you would please check in. Say hi, how are you? Let us know who you are and where you're deplorable from. And, you know, it's nice to check in. Let's see, maybe I'm a couple seconds early. That's okay. We're there. And here we go. We're on. We're live. Hello. Hello, my friends in Facebook land all across the nation. Would you please check in? Would you please say who you are? Like Tracy's the first one right there at the beginning. Tracy, thank you for being there. And, you know, this is where you check in. We let folks know who you are. We just kind of be together as lovers of America. Chris is in Cleveland, Ohio. Check in, everybody. We're going to start the program in just a couple of seconds. Brought to you tonight by Probiogen, and I will tell you about them in just a minute. But let's officially start the show with the show opener, and here we go.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. That's a direct order. Do it now.
He's been put down, ripped off, cut open. Now, he's unleashed. The American insurgency starts now. This is Rusty Humphries, Rebellion Radio.
Hello, welcome, my brother from another mother. How are you, my sister from another mister? Hello, welcome. My name is Rusty Humphries, and this is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion, powered by Right-Wing News. Also found on Liberty One TV. We encourage you to like Right-Wing News. We encourage you to subscribe to Liberty One TV. And we are also brought to you tonight by a science-backed formula that can actually change your life. It's called Probiogen. Probiogen Stress and Mood Balance Probiotic. Now, if you've never taken a probiotic, what are you thinking? You've got to take a probiotic because they're good for you. But there is new research out that shows that the wrong bacteria in your gut could make you feel anxious and stressed, irritable, and even sad. And I know for a lot of people, the news can make us feel those ways. But if there are times when you're just going, man, I'm just feeling bad and I don't know why. Well, Probiogen, Stress and Mood Balance Probiotic, specifically and specially formulated to help improve your mood. Probiogen uses the right probiotics and right herbs, plus minerals that influence the release of neurotransmitters, and they help you improve your ability to cope with stress and anxious situations. So if you're feeling anxious or sad or stressed, do me a favor, do yourself a favor, do your friends, your coworkers, your family a favor if you would please. And go to Walgreens or to a Harmon store and get Probiogen Stress and Mood Balance Probiotic. It's in a very pretty pink and green box in the supplement aisle, and you can go online to probiogen.com to find out more. Probiogen, stress and mood balance probiotic. Okay, Roy Moore has been in the news, and yes, by the way, please do me a favor if you would, please, check in. And I want to say hello to everybody for who are paying attention. And there's a story, and let's see here. Somebody just mentioned this, because one of the things that I'm talking about is this thing that the Democrats are now doing. Now they have 6 Democrats that have introduced articles of impeachment against President Trump. Now, these are absolutely idiotic and asinine. Let's be honest. It is an attempt to, instead of have you focus on the crimes of Hillary and Bill Clinton, the crimes of Barack Obama, the crimes the Democrat Party have been perpetrating on the American people for generations, the crimes that have been happening right now, the uranium, all these things that the Democrats have been doing, the attempts to try to stop President Trump at every turn, no matter what, good or bad. Now these SOB lazy, good-for-nothing pieces of garbage, people that call themselves congresspeople, who are supposed to be elected representatives of the people, who are supposed to go out there and do the right thing for the country. These are not Democrats that care about what's right for the country. They care only about getting their own ugly faces on television and to try to derail the efforts of a duly elected president of the United States. And it's disgusting and it's wrong. Now, I'm going to play just a little bit of this so you know what I'm talking about, so you can list these complete dumbasses. And I want to get your take, and then we'll do the check-ins, and we'll say hello to you and who you are, and let people know who it is. But let's just hear a little bit of this stuff, if you don't mind, because it is important that we know what the Democrats are up to, and we know what's going on, because if we don't, then they win. And that doesn't help anything. So here we go. Let's listen to the Democrats, 6 Democrats introducing articles of impeachment here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion, and it's not working. We'll try to get it ready again in a second. This is what I hate about technology and the dang viruses that are out there. I hear AT&T had problems today. Here we go. All right, I got him.
We're going to go ahead and get started, although a couple of people are going to join us, and a couple other people who are on the resolution will not be here today. But I am proud to stand here with my friend, Congressman Gutierrez, with other Congress people.
And Gutierrez is like one of the slimiest of them all. He loves his illegal immigrants.
To remove President Trump from office.
Oh, shut up.
There will be, I believe, 6 signatories on the resolution. We have taken this action because of great concern for our country and our Constitution, our national security,
liar,
and our democracy.
Liar.
We believe that President Trump has violated the Constitution, and we've introduced 5 articles of impeachment. The first is obstruction of justice, which deals with Mr. Comey's firing. The second is
Liar.
a violation of the Constitution's Foreign Emolument Clause,
Liar.
which deals with monies he's taken from foreign powers without the consent of Congress.
Liar.
The third is a violation of the Domestic Emoluments Clause, which deals with monies he's made from the United States and as personal businesses beyond that of his salary, which is also forbidden by our Constitution. The fourth is undermining our federal judiciary, and the fifth is undermining freedom of the press. These are progressive actions he's taken over a period of time against the press and against the judiciary, with positive actions to cap off a pattern of behavior.
Can I just stop just for a second? I do want to apologize as you are listening to this. All of your IQs, everybody's collective IQ is being lowered by about a percentage of a point for every moment this guy's talking. So I want to apologize for that in advance, okay? But I want you to hear it. But again, we will try to do things to bring your IQ back up, but we are all becoming dumber just by listening to him talk. So for that, I do apologize. But again, I won't play enough so that you're as dumb as some of these Democrats. So believe me, we have plenty of time. But I want to make sure that you know that you are becoming dumber just a little bit by listening to him talk. So I apologize.
Belittling and questioning these institutions that are so important for our democracy. The judiciary obviously is in the Constitution and an equal branch of government. The press is not in the Constitution, but freedom of press is. And he's threatened licenses of broadcast stations, so-called fake news, and other actions that hurt our democracy. They definitely hurt our democracy. They're fundamental parts of it. So we're calling upon the House to begin impeachment hearings immediately. It's not a call for a vote, it's a call for hearings. I don't expect the House Judiciary Committee, which is operated like a branch of the administration, to take up hearings. It's their responsibility, in my opinion, and I believe Congressman Gutierrez's and our other colleagues, to have hearings. Yeah. But of the four committees that have jurisdiction, House and Senate Intelligence and House and Senate Judiciary, the House Judiciary, which is the particular committee which would have responsibility for bringing impeachment charges through the Constitution. Al, come join us, please.
Okay, I'm getting bored.
Responsibility.
Okay. You've heard these idiots talk. Their phony baloney charges are just that, nothing but phony baloney. But at some point, you watch and see. You're laughing right now. Oh, no one's going to take this seriously. It's not going to happen, my friends. They will take this seriously. The media will start to latch onto this. It's just a matter of time. Right now, Trump had a pretty good week or so in Asia. Did a good job. They're going to hold this. This is what they do. And again, it's getting way too close to Hillary. It's getting way too close. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these guys, these 6 House Democrats, are some of the guys that were involved in the sexual harassment that got the $15 million in payouts to their victims. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. So something is wrong. Something is happening. Drew says the volume is low on my part, so I apologize. I'm turning it up a little bit. Anyway, so something is weird, and the Democrats cannot accept the victory of a Republican as president, especially one that wants to start taking away the power from the elites. So this is very interesting. All right, Derek, so let's have you check in. Do me a favor. Have you shared the video right now? Have you shared the video, and have you let people know what's going on? And I want to hear from you. Maybe you think there is something to these charges. Remember, impeachment is not removing the president from office. The impeachment is the charges. If that goes to the House, then it would go to the Senate. And if it went to the Senate, President Trump could be removed from office. So I'd like to know your thought. Sean says they have nothing left. This is Plan B. Jerry says, a thought. If Judge Moore is vindicated, he should be appointed Attorney General. Sessions could go as a write-in on the Alabama senator ballot. Moore has the tenacity and will to seek justice. Sessions has the tenacity and will to seek justice. Sessions doesn't. A win-win. Judge Moore's attorney have brought up some good points and want Allred to turn over the yearbook to experts to examine the handwriting. Judge Andrew Napolitano, a constitutional expert, states if Moore makes it to the Senate seat, he cannot be unseated unless he does something while he's a sitting senator. Now, I saw that Andrew Napolitano said that, but remember, the Senate creates their own rules, and they can change them at will, and they will do that. They don't like outsiders. The Senate is a very, very nasty club, and there's 100 of them, and they ain't like nobody else. All right. Jeffrey says, if they can't do it, they should be tried for treason. My thoughts. No free passes. Make them live like poor people. The only way to hurt rich people is to make them poor. Derek says there are people getting killed and young children dying in the country, and this is all you got about? I'm a self-employed painter trying to explain to my wife we have a hard time paying for insurance. Well, Derek, it's all tied in together. I agree with you. This is a waste of our time. But if it is not exposed, if we, the good people, don't expose what they, the bad people, are doing, the Democrats, these 6 House morons who are trying to get their names in the paper and who are trying to start a movement, and believe me, these movements do start, and it can pick up quickly. If we don't point out their lies and exaggerations, if we don't stop it now, if you think 1 or 2 nights of talking about it is bad, wait till it goes forward and it's a year of every single night talking about Trump impeachment, Trump impeachment, Trump impeachment, Trump impeachment. Gil says, civil war, please. No, we don't want a civil war. We don't want that. Kirk says, Democrats are a very dangerous group. They want a civil war, bring it on. Guys, we don't want that. I promise you. We do not want to see, people on the street fighting each other. I've seen war, and there's just nothing. There is nothing worse, and it sounds like, hey, let's go out there and defend what's right and defend and do what we need to do. And boy, it sounds okay in an intellectual thing, on piece of paper maybe even. But boy, I promise you do not want to see that in real life. You don't. Christy said, I just saw a commercial on signing a petition for impeachment. Are you serious? This is getting way out of hand. Yes, Christy, it is out of hand. These Democrats are serious. They want Trump out. Now, again, then, do you think they'll be happy with Pence? No, they got something ready for him. And then whoever Pence picks as vice president, this isn't going to be done until they're shut down. They're going to do everything they possibly can. And it's darn wrong. It really is wrong. It's disgusting what they're doing. And we've got to be, we have to be smart and stand up to these bastards. We really should. Andy says the House and Senate are dominated by Republicans. This BS will not get traction. Get over it. The left lost. You're all losers. Andy, the problem is you got your John McCain's, who I hate just about as much as anybody. You got your Jeff Flake. You have your Lisa Murkowski. You got 4 or 5 of them that aren't really Republicans. They're rhinos, Republicans in name only. These are people that hate Trump, and they will do anything they can to destroy him. And the Senate, being the elitist group that they are, these guys will do anything. I don't put anything past them. Now, again, they ignored everything with Bill Clinton. Ignored it. Paid no attention whatsoever. They literally laughed in the Senate. When the impeachment hearings went up before the Senate with Bill Clinton, it wasn't going to happen from day one. They just sat there and kind of laughed. It's true. Glenda says, I cannot hear you tonight, but the Ozarks are ready to take them on. Glenda, just click. Usually you got to click a thing on the side that there's usually a speaker you got to click on. Click on the speaker. Click the speaker over there or there. Click this. You can hear me. Listen, I'm still here. Kathy says, impeach Waters, Pelosi, Schumer, and McCain. Yes. Patrick says, I'm a small contractor. I'm barely hanging on. I know the Obama economy is turning around, but it's taken a long time. We had 8 years of the worst growing economy since the Great Depression. I mean, it was close to Great Depression levels. And for some reason, it's just, no big deal. Oh, Obama was great, right? No, Obama wasn't great. Gregory wants to know, where were these charges when Obama was in effect? Isaac says liberals in general are incompetent. No, you want to think places they are not incompetent, Isaac? They are not incompetent in getting themselves power. They are not incompetent in trying to lord over everybody else. They are very, very good at getting laws in that nobody really wanted. They're really good at it. Kay says, how exactly do we stop it? They silence conservatives at every turn. It's true. You know, with all the Facebook pages this show is being pushed out to, we have over 16 million likes. 16 million. And the different social media organizations are doing everything they can to make sure that we are silenced. I have a couple of friends who are conservative commentators, and they do shows like this, and they've been taken off the air because the social media companies don't like them. And they just make it so that it's hard for you to find us. And so how do you make a difference? How can you get around? I tell you this every day, and I'll tell you again. First of all, it's called engagement. That means you being involved. Hitting that like, giving me the hearts, the laughs, the cries, the angers, all those emojis, and just hit them over and over and over again. That makes a big difference. That's number one. That's number one. Number two, commenting. But most importantly, sharing this video, getting it out, letting people see it, and you got to do it every night. Because if we don't, they're just going to say, nobody's paying attention. Nobody's paying attention, so we don't have to push it out. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's censorship at the very core. So I'm going to wait for just 1 second, and I'd like to see a bunch of your thumbs ups and a bunch of hearts. Just let me know. Just say hi. You comment on anything. It doesn't matter what you say as long as it's not stupid. And you probably aren't stupid because you're smart enough to watch this. But we need you. And we need you to participate, and we need my TV to work better too. All right. Click on this yes. Why can't we all just get along and work together, says Jen. Jen, that is a really, really good question. The reason why is we have far too many people in our country, in our government, in the world, actually, is they want power more than anything else. They're far more interested in power than they are in doing what's the best interest for our country. I'm more interested in what's best for our country. I think you are too. And so we have to go work together and stop this garbage. Here's another one. All right. Let me read a few more of your comments. And then I want to talk about the Judge Moore thing. Because there's another guy that we're going to go and just try to destroy a few weeks before an important election. Why didn't this happen before? Something's weird. You and I both know this. Let me read some of your comments, though. Pam says, Rusty, don't you think it's strange that the uranium thing is coming out and they are all being exposed left and right and the impeachment comes out? Don't you think that Clinton had something to do with this? I do. Pam, they've been talking about impeachment since the day before Trump was in office. This is something they've been working on for a long time. Lauren says, the economy has nothing to do with Obama. Why did the stock market crawl out of the hole on Inauguration Day 2017? Well, the economy had a lot to do with Obama, Lauren. It was the policies. And the reason the stock market did better on Inauguration on 2017 was because investors went, wow, we finally got a guy that's not going to screw us. I mean, remember when Obama got elected, the stock market tanked. Everybody said, oh, it's going to go up. Obama's going to be great. And it tanked, and it really never did better. Let's see here. Deborah shared a video. Thank you. Wade says you can't silence the truth. Patrick says we're not going to stand for it. We the people are ready. Amy's checking in Oklahoma. Jean is there. Alex checking in. Hi. Frida is from North Carolina. Christina, hi. Ricky is checking in from Tennessee. Kappas, hi to you too. Emily says they've been trying to impeach him since the moment he took I'm guessing office. I've got no idea whether this is even news at this point. Emily, it's news because they've actually had a press conference now. They actually have 6 people that have 6 congressmen that have now started signing bills to get this started. It's really awful. Michael says what we're dealing with is not just censorship, it is discrimination. It's true. You conservatives, us conservatives, we are being discriminated against. It's very, very clear. It is, it's fun. How many movies have you seen Hollywood put out over the years? The evil Republicans and that evil Congressman, Joseph McCarthy. And Joseph McCarthy came out and he lied. He lied about communists. He lied about people that were doing these things. And they had the hearings on the House on un-American activities, and it was all evil because they went after people and they tried to destroy their lives. How many movies have you seen like that over the years? Look at the world now. Look at America now. Look at Hollywood now. McCarthy didn't lie. He was right. Communists have taken over Hollywood. They don't use the word communist anymore. They use liberal. They use socialist. They support people like Bernie Sanders, but it's communism. It's evil. It's anti-American. It's anti-God. It's anti-everything our country stands for. And what is really happening is all of those things, the accusations on Joseph McCarthy and in those era, now we're coming to fruition, but it is coming against the people who do love America and who do want the best for our country, who do believe in God. And so we are witnessing a terrible destruction in our country. Now, what may be happening is all this sexual stuff where Hollywood is attacking itself. Who knows? Maybe it's going to come back. We'll see. Wouldn't that be great? Dennis says, who are the Democrats wanting to put in office if they were to impeach Trump? Well, of course, you would put in Mike Pence or be the vice president, right? Alva's checking in from Maine. Hello. Gregory is in Okinawa, Japan. How you doing? Is every restaurant a Benihana there? I've never been to Japan, but I do love Benihana. It's my favorite. I love the way the guys cut it up and the fried rice with chicken. Oh, nothing but, and the ginger sauce. Love the Benihana. Raymond says, now they've cut your voice off on me. My voice is gone. Whoa. Hello. Checking 1, 2, 3. I see. My voice is gone. Huh. Well, that's very interesting. All right. It looks like, thank you guys. It looks like you're gonna have to hear me weird for a minute. Maybe. Technology is against me. I have a little thing, and I'm guessing that it's batteries. So you probably can't hear. If you're listening to the podcast, you hear it fine. If you're watching me on Facebook, you can't. And so as the solopreneur, the guy that has to do everything, I'm going to make major surgery right now. Hold on just 1 second. Hold on. Good thing I've got everything ready. Very unprofessional, but I apologize. Maybe this will work. Hopefully this will work. If not, then we got a bigger problem than we thought. All right, let's do this. And we're going to do this. And in like here. And we're going to do this. And plug in here. And testing 1, 2, 3. Did that fix it? Okay, I think that fixed it. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me running? That was a terrible song. Was it Mike and the Mechanics? Okay, I'm back. Start over. You can hear me now. Okay, we have sound. I don't know what I was talking about when I stopped. I'm sorry. Whatever it was great. Let's listen to Judge Roy Moore's attorney. He held a press conference a little while ago, and let's see what they say, and let's see if it's important or not. Here we go.
One thing I can tell you is we do have some information we're going to share with you today, and we know that you're going to share it with those folks that you're communicating with about some of these charges. I am Bill Armistead, chairman of the campaign for Judge Moore, and I want to introduce to you Philip Jareggi, who coincidentally, was chairman of Judge Moore's campaign for Chief Justice back in 2000.
That's right.
He's an attorney, and he's representing us in this case, and I'd like now to turn this over to Mr. Jareggi, and he'll make some comments.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate y'all being here today. This is very important. Of course, there have been some serious allegations, and we really appreciate the media and what you guys do to help get the word out and spread the truth. Just as an aside, I've known Judge Moore for 24 years. When these allegations came out within the last week, it was incredibly painful for him, for his wife, his mom, his daughter, grandchildren. In these types of cases, there's always someone who's alleging and the other person. And in those cases, when it's true, it's horrible for the person making the allegations. But when the allegations are made and it's not true, it's also horrible for the person who those allegations are directed against.
Absolutely.
Back in 2000, the Judge Moore asked me to be his campaign manager, campaign chairman, and it was one of the greatest honors and remains today and always will be one of the greatest honors of my life. During that time and afterwards, he asked me to be his attorney, and I was one of the attorneys that represented him in the Ten Commandments case. And as you know, there have been some other cases over the last 20 years. And I've traveled with Judge Moore all over the state, different states across the nation. I've been with him in probably over 100 different meetings and been around probably in excess of 10,000 different ladies in Judge Moore's presence. And not once, not one time, have I ever seen him act even remotely inappropriate against any woman, toward any woman. Not when they were walking away, not when he and I were in private afterwards. That's the man that I know and that I've known for the last 24 years. Now, the allegations that have come out, I hope you understand, it takes time to work through this. We don't have a $20 million budget as a campaign. It takes time, and we want to be correct. We want to make sure that when we say something, it's proper, okay? So we're still working through some things, but there are some things that you need to know and that we want to make you aware of. During the press conference that Ms. Nelson and Gloria Allred had on Monday, they both said that Ms. Nelson, after the allegations, had never seen nor had any contact with Judge Moore. As it turns out, in 1999, Ms. Nelson filed a divorce action against her then husband, Mr. Harris. Guess who that case was before? It was filed in Etowah County, and the judge assigned was Roy S. Moore, Circuit Judge of Etowah County. There was contact. Judge Moore signed an order in that case as well, and we'll talk about that in a minute. We've also had a handwriting expert looking at the evidence that was submitted. You may remember on Monday, Ms. Nelson and Ms. Allred, in support, really the only piece of evidence they had in addition to the allegations was a yearbook where they claimed that it had been signed. And they said very specifically, look back at what they said. Everything on that page they said was written by Judge Moore. Now, Judge Moore not only has denied everything she said before, but now flatly denies that. And he says it's not true. Okay. We have a handwriting expert, that's looking at those. But here's the problem. A handwriting expert can't look at a copy on the internet, right? They've got to look at an original. So right now, Trent Garman, our attorney, has sent a letter, or is sending a letter, to Gloria Allred demanding that the yearbook be released. We'll send it to a neutral custodian who'll keep chain of custody, and our professional expert will examine it, and we'll find out, is it genuine or is it a fraud? There are a couple things also that you need to know. I'm not going to go into everything that's on that paper because, again, we need to have our handwriting expert draw some conclusions. I'm not going to draw them today, and I'm not going to make any allegations that we can't support with an expert. There are a couple things that you need to look at. Look at the 1977 After Merry Christmas. Look at those two sevens. And then look below at the 77. And I want to ask you, do you think it was written by the same person? I want you to look at Old Hickory House, which they say Judge Moore wrote. Judge Moore says there's no way in the world that's his handwriting. And I want you to look at it. Look at some other writing of his and make your own determination. That's what our expert will be doing. But for now, I'm asking you all to take a look. Okay. Use your judgment. And then
all right,
finally,
and these are, finally.
After Judge Moore's signature, it has the initials capital D period, A period. Remember I told you about that 99 divorce action? Judge Moore looked at that DA after his signature, which they allege was because he was the district attorney. Well, he wasn't. He was the assistant district attorney.
Okay.
But Judge Moore says he can't ever remember ever signing his name with DA after it, but he had seen it before. You know where he had seen it?
No.
When he was on the bench, his assistant, whose initials are capital D period, A period, Delbert Adams, would stamp his signature on documents and then put capital D period, A period. That's exactly how the signature appears on the divorce decree that Judge Moore signed, dismissing the divorce action with Ms. Nelson.
All right, those are very, very interesting, things here. Now, I'm watching the liberal media and even Fox News. You mean the best that he can do? Sean Hannity came out and said, you better come out with something in 24 hours, Judge Moore. I'm coming after you. And that's the best he can do is come up with handwriting experts. Well, I don't know. Again, the problem I have is what do you do if it's happening to you? So it's very hard to prove a negative, and Peggy thinks I still believe more is being set up by the Democrats. Rick thinks they should age test the ink. Isaac says it's old news. Why should it matter? That is kind of a Clintonian thing, huh? What difference at this point does it make? Gregory says, I say, bring it to the floor, have a hearing, let them hang their evidence for all to see, right through their hypocrisy and lunacy. Yep. Kay thinks it's a setup. Boyce says there's no way millions of voters are not going to give up that easily. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of people talking about leaving Judge Roy Moore out. And again, I don't want a pedophile in the Senate. I also didn't want a murderer in the Senate either, but Ted Kennedy's that was there for how long? Whoopsie. I didn't want somebody that committed bank fraud, but we got Mr. Keating 5, John McCain still there. Whoopsie. I mean, that list, we can go through that list for a long time, right? A lot of people are saying check and see how old the ink is. I agree with you on that. Let's get into. You want to get it on? Let's get it on. I'm in. Let's go. Carr says, yep, age tested. Is it gel or regular ink? James says Facebook keeps kicking me off. I'm sorry about that. I'm doing there's only so much I can do. I put the show out there, and hopefully you can watch it. And one of the things that I'm asking you to do is I'm on another app, and I do it a couple times a day, so it's not like all day long, and it's only 40-something seconds each time. It's called the Hear Me Out app. Hear Me Out. And it's you go for the Apple, you go to the App Store, you go to the Google Store, whatever it is for you Androiders. And you download this app. It doesn't cost anything. It's called Hear Me Out. And it's kind of like Twitter, but you could hear it. And so, for example, I'll play you one I did today. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's only 42 seconds, but I'll let you hear it here. So,
everybody's always focusing on the negative. What ticks me off? What's my pet peeve? What's got me mad today? What political thing has ticked me off? You know what? Kind of hit me today. Christmas lights are going up. Thanksgiving is just around the corner. I'm in pretty good health. Life is good. This is the time of year where I get happiest. And I'm just wondering, what is it, instead of talking about what makes you mad, what makes you happiest? I hope this is a happy time for you, and comment right here.
Okay. And that's what it is. And it's a good question, too. What is it that makes you happy? But if you would go to the Hear Me Out, find the Hear Me Out app, and comment. Listen to it. Follow me, if you would, please. And follow me. And let's go around these big-time social media groups. And the Hear Me Out app guys, I've talked to the owners. They promise they are not going to go and silence or censor conservatives, and it is a great way for us to continue to get our message out. So it's very, 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 very important that you follow me on the Hear Me Out app, please. Chris blames Hillary Clinton. Jack has joined. Hey, Jack, how you doing? Kathy says, I had just had a hard time watching Ms. Nelson give her pathetic crying statement. She said that she couldn't get out of the car because the doors were locked, but back in those days, all you had to do was reach over and pull the lock up. It wasn't like it is now in all vehicles. I think she's lying. And after all these years, how can you be in tears about something that happened 40 years ago and didn't report it then if she was so traumatized about it? I have talked to rape victims. Now, these women weren't raped, I don't think. But they say you never get over it. So I can't do that. The lock thing is interesting. And I also saw a video from one guy, a stepson of one of the accusers, saying he didn't believe his stepmom and she's a big fat liar and just about everything. So, I don't know. Odd says all 5 accusers have ties to the DNC. Sarah says the Dems make their own laws. Sean says, anyone else besides me lose the show? I'm back. I hope you can see me. Patrick says the libs and Dems are stretching. They're reaching for air. They've got nothing but made-up lies and charges, and from 20 years ago at that, the truth shall set you free. No, unfortunately, in today's world of media, the truth doesn't always set you free. And the only way for evil to succeed is if good people do nothing. And so that's why we have to do. And Fran says he's looking for followers. I guess you're talking to me. Yes, I am. I'm asking you to follow me on Hear Me Out and on my Facebook page and on Right Wing News and on Liberty One TV and all these places, because we cannot trust these platforms. And so we have to be on as many as possible, because I'm telling you, this is not a conspiracy theory. I'm telling you, this is not something being made up. This is not paranoia. This is a fact that conservatism is being censored in every place possible. And if we good people do not stand up and do something, we will lose our voice. And if you think it's bad now, wait until some of this stuff takes hold. That's not fear. It's not paranoia. It's fact. Michelle Swiss says, we are very used to seeing how the government and the media is able to destroy a person's career, life, and future. Most of us don't listen to them anymore. Their most dangerous weapon is the ability to ruin a person. All I know is they better leave Trump alone. See, Michelle just said what I see. You're right. Michelle, you're right. Gavilan says, I don't think they can impeach him now under Republican control, but if Democrats regain power in 2018, they will. You think the Republicans like Donald Trump? No. Republicans can't wait to jump on this bandwagon. The problem is they know that you and me, the people that support them, and more importantly to them, the people that write the checks. Hello, Mr. Check. We're sick and tired of it. That's why they got their asses handed to them last week. Let's see. A couple more comments here. Mary thinks it has to do with the New World Order. I don't believe in that stuff. What I believe it is, these elites that just want to take it over, that just want it all. I don't know that it's New World Order. Curtis thinks we're hitting the nail on the head. Thank you, brother. Bob says, remember the Million Woman March not long ago? This is the start of their takeover through the dimwit party. Wanda says, Lord, cause this evil act to crash and burn in Jesus' name. Amen. Punish the evildoers in Jesus' name. Amen. James says, Rusty, the more likes I give you, the more they kick me off 3 times tonight. James, I'm sorry about that, but I appreciate keep doing the likes. It means so much. It does. So does listening to the podcast. So does supporting the sponsors. Another sponsor that's important for you to follow is one that you should have in the house anyway. It's called WaxRx. And WaxRx, if you've got earwax problems, and I know it's not something comfortable you want to talk about, but if you've got earwax problems like I do, it really is good to have in the house because you got to go to if you've got earwax, you got to go to the doctor. You got to get them cleared out. Q-tips don't work. Those candles, I've tried them. They don't really work. WaxRx does. It's just a kit. It is the same ear washer purchased by doctors and clinics. And this kit, it has the right kind of peroxide and that squirt bottle, and it's all just made to clean out your ears, and it absolutely works. I know. I've used it. I needed it a couple of weeks ago, and it was in my bathroom, and it was there. So do yourself a favor. Go to WaxRx, waxrx.com. Use my name, Rusty, as a code, and they'll hook you up, okay? waxrx.com. Thank you. But please, you got to support the sponsors. You have to. You have to. It's the only way we keep this show going, okay? I'm not like, every other podcast and almost every other show you watch on Facebook. Please go to this place and donate money. Give me money. Give me. I'm not asking you to give me money. I'm asking you to support the sponsors and buy products that are good that you're going to like. That's what I'm trying to do. Todd says, people are fed up with this corruption. Get it? Yep. Randy says, Facebook has censored me 6 times now, always putting me in timeout for liking too much. Is that right, Randy? Carr says, the middle class is on their knees. Things are happening faster and faster. We've got to do something. You're right. Mary says, the elites want to rid many people off the face of the earth. I don't know if they want to rid the people. They certainly want to rid the money from our pockets and put it into their own. Christina says, I don't know what this means. I'll have to read that one later. Sorry. Brenda says the swamp is scared. Misty says, I knew he would shake things up. I just didn't expect the craziness that's been going on with the left. Kenford says this is why we need term limits. Jim says the Democrat Party is the biggest mob in the world, and when they take down the middle class, there will be nothing but crime, rich and poor. David says everyone in Congress has dirt on each other, so they're all scared. Brandon says it's the last couple of claws of the Clintons. Curtis says we the people can create our own term limits during the next election. The problem is that these politicians, thanks to things like the McCain-Feingold Act, thank you, John McCain, another dumbass thing you did, which was nothing but the Incumbent Protection Act, they've got so much more power and so much more money and so much more opportunity, it's almost impossible to run against an incumbent. And the incumbents have done that on purpose. All right, we are here every night, 9 p.m. in the East and 6 p.m. in the West. WaxRx.com. Please support them. We love them. Probiogen. Probiotic that thrives. Stress and mood balance probiotic. Both. This is available at Walmart and Walgreens and CVS. WaxRx online at waxrx.com. TheToymaker.com also is a great website if you're looking for fun toys to make with your kids. It's just you download the project and you do it online, and it's fun, and there's some great Thanksgiving things coming up, Christmas stuff. So do all that, would you please? And the podcast. Find it at iTunes, Stitcher, and all kinds of other great places. And if you're looking for another good podcast, Blunt Force Truth is a great podcast hosted by our good friend Chuck Woolery. You remember him from the Wheel of Fortune and Love Connection, other great game shows. Mark Young, really, really smart dude. And you can find that podcast and their website, bluntforcetruth.com. I think you will like it. I'll be back tomorrow, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West, unless I've got something more interesting to do. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Rusty Humphries. Thanks for watching the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. May God bless you. May God bless America. We'll see you next time right here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion.